Okay, let's dive into this. When we talk about the rules for our homes, our offices, pretty much any building, there's this one giant rulebook that governs all things electrical, the National Electrical Code, or the NEC. I mean, this thing is the massive official guide that keeps everything safe and standardized. But what if I told you this book of rules has a hidden flexibility you probably have no idea about?
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to navigate that code, break down a really core electrical concept, and then reveal a little-known alternative method that's right there in the source. We'll get into why this actually matters to you, and then wrap it all up with a key takeaway. Let's get right into it. First off, we just have to appreciate the sheer scale of this thing. The NEC is not some pamphlet you can just skim through. We're talking about a nearly 1,000-page document that is incredibly dense and, let's be honest, pretty intimidating. For every electrician and inspector out there, this is the ultimate source of truth. And the whole thing is organized into 9 major chapters. It covers everything from the most basic wiring all the way to complex communication systems. And you know, it's this comprehensively massive for one very critical reason: safety. But here's where it gets really interesting. We tend to think of a code like this as just a rigid set of black and white commands, right? Do this, don't do that. But what if it's actually more sophisticated? What if it contains official pathways, alternatives that are hiding right there in the text if you just know where to look? So to find that alternative path, we first need to understand the core problem the NEC is trying to solve in the first place. And that all comes down to managing the electrical load.
A load calculation? It's basically the math you have to do before any wiring even happens. Think of it like creating a power budget for a house. You add up all the power demands of the lights, the fridge, the AC, all the outlets, literally everything, to figure out exactly how much electricity the system needs to handle safely. This one calculation determines the size of your main electrical panel and all the wires that feed it. It's a big deal.
Now, the standard way to do this load calculation is, well, incredibly detailed and prescriptive. But it turns out, deep within the code, there's another way. So let's pull back the curtain on the section that offers this official alternative path. The key is found in a very specific place: Chapter 2, Part 4, Section 220.80. And this is important. This is not some loophole or a clever workaround. It's an explicitly written provision just sitting right there in the official text for anyone to find. Now listen to the specific words used here: shall be permitted. In the world of legal documents and codes, that wording is everything. It's the code itself in black and white, giving official permission to use a different method. It's a formal acknowledgement that, yes, another approach is perfectly acceptable.
So look, this isn't about one method being better than the other. Think of the standard calculation as the super comprehensive default. This optional method is more of a streamlined alternative that the code specifically allows for certain situations, like single-family homes, where how we use power is generally more predictable. But the most crucial point here isn't the math. It's the existence of the choice itself.
Right about now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a neat technical detail, but hey, I'm not an electrician, so why does this matter to me? Well, it matters because understanding the system, even just a little, empowers you to be a part of the conversation. I mean, knowing this exists fundamentally changes your perspective. It means when you're planning a renovation, you can ask your electrician, hey, are we using the standard or the optional load calculation for this? Just asking that question shows you get that there's more than one way to meet the code. And that could potentially lead to a simpler design, maybe even save some time and money. And it just goes to show you that this big, scary rulebook is actually an adaptive document built for the real world.
So let's bring this all home. Let's distill this all down to the most important takeaway from our little deep dive into the code.
The crucial takeaway is this: the rulebooks that govern our world often seem like solid, immovable walls, but sometimes, buried right within their own text, they have a door. The National Electrical Code, the absolute bedrock of electrical safety, proves that even the most rigid-seeming systems can have built-in options.
And that leaves us with a much bigger question, doesn't it? If a document as dense and as critical as the electrical code has these alternatives, what other optional paths are hidden in plain sight within all the other complex systems, the legal, the financial, the social systems that structure our world? They might just be waiting for someone to look closely enough to find them.